In this video, we'll be going over terminology of this uniform, blousing technique, gig lines, rank placement, along with each note in Chapter 7, Uniform and Awards, and other uniform rules, like where to put your snacks.
As per the introduction, we'll be going over the Airman battle uniform, and a part of that is the terminology. So just to get out of the way, this is a cover. This is an older cover, but you know, they're covers. They cover your head from the sunlight. And this goes for berets, which are not authorized for this uniform, flight caps, and service caps. Next up, we have shirts, which are like this. I don't have the uniform shirt, but I'll have it on when we transition to that. Shirts, which are just a plain t-shirt, should be coyote tan. Yeah. Next we have blouses. This is a blouse. It goes over your shirt, as you can see. So when you're wearing it, you should see your shirt in it. We have this blouse, and we're going to be going over ranks, name tags, patches that should be there, any other tapes, and how to wear it correctly. Part of how to wear it correctly includes wearing the full uniform. So right now we only have our hat, shirt, and blouse. We're missing our pants, which are the next thing. We'll be going over pants, where to store your cover when you're not wearing it, belt for your belt loops, and the gig line, which if you have the blues, you should have a gig line. You should know what a gig line is, and how to blouse your boots properly. However, the best thing for blousing pants, blousers, these little guys. You either have these or these, the hook, those things, those straps, those also work. But these ones are a lot easier to put on and a lot more light. However, you can't blouse your boots correctly if you don't have the boots themselves. So over the course of the next amount of time, we'll be going over everything about this uniform, how to blouse your boots, where you should have your rank, any other additional things you should note, how to wear the uniform, any taboos that might be associated with the uniform, and yeah, we'll see. Boot blousing. Now, black socks aren't always authorized. You want to try wearing your coyote brown ones? I don't have them on me, so I'm doing the best I can. Black ones are authorized for the army, but we're not the dirty army. Love you guys, army. But yeah, so these, pretty simple. 2 hooks, this. They're elastic, so you can, big calves, people going to the gym, trying to build that up. You guys got room to grow. So the basic premise, take this guy, hook him, right? Or you can do it in basically any direction at this point. Bring it up to around your calf. Hook it real quick. You go under, much excess out, and then tuck it back in. This way, when you throw on your boot, you can tie it. Alright. You can tie it almost any way you want at this point, because you know we got all this excess. Either tie it around them back. But what I like to do, I like to throw all my shoelaces above my blouser. You also want to make sure in the back you get this guy right here. Excuse the noise. Family and I just got home from a vacation. I wanted to do something. There you go. Boot will look nice. Pro tip, if you stand up like I am now, you have more excess that you can tuck under the boot blouser. Where'd it go? Yeah. This way, I'll make a sharp, professional appearance. Now, boot. It's a term in the military. Pretty bad term, too. Basically, the way I teach my cadets is if I can see this strap on the top of your boot, you're not doing it right. This guy right here. Why? because you're just not doing it right. Because when you blouse your boots, It's to stop stuff from getting in. But if your boot blousers are this tall, stuff can still get in. It's basically a small detail that to veterans and other people says, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. However, if you're tall like that, please do that. And to show you again, on the right side, I'm gonna put on my boot time first. Simpler. Always make sure you don't tie it too tight because you don't want to suffocate your feet. You want it tight, you want it firm, but not to the point. Zoom out a bit. Far it'll zoom out. You want it to be tight, but not to the point where you choke yourself. Now again, we zip to our calf, to your boot blouser. Now, you want it to be below this line. Anything before this, down under this guy right here, is just gross. So anything above this line, so like here, great. Looks good, feels good. Hoo-ah spirit. Bring your pants all the way down, and then just tuck it all under that boot blouse. Now this is the simplest way that I found out to do it. There's a lot more difficult ways, and this is the way that I like the most. There you go. Now of course, other people like the drill master who love perfection, and I'd like to get to that level. Tell you to put weights at the end so that it does like that type of thing. But I don't have those, and I don't know if you guys have those, and I don't even know how to use them. But yeah, that is the best and easy way that I found to blouse your boots. As for gig lines, your line should look like your blues do. Your belt and your lace and your trousers should be connected. Else, I know you guys have it on the left hand side, it should be reversed. Same concept. Your belt, your trousers together, like your blues. Present day touch-a-knee, I got the rank completely incorrect. Instead of it being between these two lines, you have it parallel. You have it 1 inch off the bottom of the collar, parallel with the ground. It'd be like this. Keep it further like that. That's completely on me. Read your manuals, kids, because otherwise you're gonna make mistakes like this. Embarrass yourself, like the boot situation. But yeah, should look like this instead of what I'll do. So with this your blouse, we have, in the notes, we have a couple of distinctions. We've got 1, rank, 2, name tag, 3, patch, 4, other patch, and 5, we should have 1 more tape that says Air Force JRTC. Now, to break this down even further, on the covers, if you're an officer, a cadet officer, you wear your officer insignia on your cap and the cover. Now that we have the rank sorted out, let's go on from right to left. On the right hand side, you have your last name, and on this breast pocket on your right side, you have your unit patch. Let's play pretend here and pretend this is a patch, the United States Marine Corps. This patch would be centered like this onto the breast pocket. Now my unit doesn't have a unit symbol or is in a patch, so we just don't have one. On your left hand side, I don't have this on my blouse currently, but I'll certainly get it once the unit starts back up again. You should have a tape that says AFJROTC. And similar to the right hand patch, the left breast pocket patch will have this patch, the Air Force JRTC white circle patch. Now, this is basically everything for the uniform, but of course there's a couple other things like blousing and sleeves that I don't want to talk about. So we're going to go over that. I think we have the finer details. Sleeves, covers, and a couple other things. So going immediately from the blouse, your sleeves should not be cuffed. They should not be rolled inside out. Now, I know in Texas it gets warm, but this just ain't it. And in Arizona it does get warm, but even then, we don't embarrass the uniform. We cuff it. Or we button it. Now, it's up to your personal choosing as to if you want it tighter or looser, or if you want to roll it up entirely. I don't like to roll up my uniform, but a lot of other cadets really enjoy it. Speaking about buttons, your pockets should always be buttoned. Here, I'm making that mistake of having my pockets unbuttoned. Basically, this ensures that nothing falls out, everything is secure, everything looks the way it's supposed to. If it doesn't look the way it's supposed to, then it doesn't look good, because this uniform really likes being perfect, because the Air Force likes to be good. They gave you guys from the other service branches, oh, the Air Force likes to be perfect. Anyway, but yeah. The uniform's looking better. We're almost done with the uniform. However, some additional notes include when cover. Your cover should be fairly tight on your head. And although my hair is not technically, it's barely in regs, but you should have it shorter. As you see, it poofs out. But your cover should less of sit securely on your head, but kind of sit on your head. Where this line aligns with the marching surface. It's a weird fit. It's not your general other hats or civilian wear hats. It's supposed to be tight. It's supposed to kind of feel small because it's for combat. Speaking about the cover, when you go in stores, you got to stow it somewhere. And sure, you can just shove it into your pockets, but that's kind of really bad for the cover, and it bulks out. So, you ranger roll your cover. So, you just grab your cover. You can just fit like you're flipping an egg. Boom. Now, this is not the prettiest, but it will work. Another way is if you do two hands, you can make it into a lot more personalized and get it really in there. Kind of tuck it into itself. Cover. And just kind of fold it in on itself. And boom. You got this weird looking banana. Camo banana. Dangerous. Now this camo banana goes perfectly into your cargo pocket. Now you can't see the cargo pocket, but I'm pointing at it. If I had a cameraman, they'd point at it. It stows perfectly into your cargo pocket or your regular pocket, and because of the shape, you can kind of like, this is your pocket, sew it in like this, so when you need to, you can kind of come out. Use that banana shape to its full potential, and when you have it, this, it doesn't take long to just grab that, pull it out, put it on. You'll impress your first years if you do it really good, so get good with it. Other than that, when you get a new cap, you don't want it to be flat because that just looks bland and like it just doesn't look good. So a way to add some curvature to it is, of course, just grab it and bend it in. But this can wear off fairly easily. But if you have a couple rubber bands, throw it on there, leave it for the night, and when you come back, it'll look good. However, do not crease it. If you crease it, it'll look bad, like this one. I creased mine. And I wear it as a symbol of don't do this, because it looks bad. Crease civilian covers, not your military covers. This just looks weird, because I creased it incorrectly, because that's how creases work. It was offset, so when I wear it perfectly, the crease is off. Don't crease your cover. I repeat, do not crease your cover. Additional things. Keep your bearing. Don't do stupid stuff in uniform. This goes for all the uniforms. Flight, suit, ABUs, dress blues, all of them, service, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie's, all of them. Don't do stupid stuff in them. Do some silly stuff in private, like you guys got a JRTC room, you can do some pretty silly stuff in there. But the moment you get into private or public eye, you're wearing the uniform of the world's most professional fighting force. So, it's expected that we're not super goofy. Another thing, how high do I bring up my pants? These are combat pants, so they're built pretty roomy, so you can have them up to here or down at your waist. Rule of thumb is basically, if you can take your, for males, left side of your blouse and you bring it up and you don't see your tan shirt, it's good. If you can see your belt, that's alright. Female, same thing with the right side. You don't want to see that tan shirt if it kind of comes up. Other than that, don't run. Try not to run to locations because you're wearing a military uniform. Not everybody can see the white patch or see that it's Torch of Knowledge instead of the half Arnold. So I heard this from a guy in the actual Air Force, Luke Air Force Base, Phoenix, Arizona. We went to a field trip there. He said that there's a rule, entire base, no running unless you're in PTs. Why? Because when you're running, that implies something went wrong. When you're running, and especially for those armed guys, the people who are armed or the people who deal with ammunition, if those guys run, something is wrong, which causes panic. Cadets don't run while in uniform. And one, it kind of looks bad. And two, it can cause distress that never would have happened if you hadn't ran. Otherwise, shave your face for males. Females, get your hair right. Well, for anyone, just make sure your hair is in regs and looks good. Mine could use a bit of trimming, fingernails, and everything. Another pro tip: there are pencil holders. Usually, for the chair force. Yeah. Other than that, if you've got your boots bloused, gig line on set, your blouse has all the attributes and the correct areas, rank, name tag, name tape, and correct patches, it should look nice. If it doesn't, or just random trash, I carry chalk so that if I need to mark anything, I can, because I do a lot of photography work in uniform. Try to make sure that you distribute it. In a couple of pockets I have different papers, but I don't have it all in one pocket, so it's a bunch of big old thing, like all the way down my leg. You can certainly carry stuff, just don't make it look bulky. Kind of distribute your weight. Another thing is if you have those protein bars or like nature value bars, those things on each of your legs, right below your knees, there should be this pocket, this little dagger pocket. I talked about it earlier. You can stuff it in there. I've done it. It worked well. It's worked well. So if you're doing anything for orienteering or land navigation or anything outdoors really, you can carry water in there, and you can carry easily 2 bottles of water. Like those Dasani bottles, those like 16, 17 fluid ounces. So you can stick 2 of them in there. But make sure your belt, works properly so that you can carry more weight and it not droop your pants down. Anything else? I'm not sure, but yeah. I think this is the first time showing my face on video. Other than that, if there's any other notes, I'll put it in a voiceover